Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. My name is Aaron from Aroma Pixel Studio, and today I want to show you, how you can add effects, how you can mix, a vocal in Studio One. Wonderful. All right. So let me just make you listen to what I've done. I've done some work here. I've added something, some effects and some reverb, and I've also added some delays and some of the effects in my vocal. So I just want to show you how I arrived to these guys, right? So first of all, let me just make you listen to this guy without any without any effects. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do right now. So let me just go to the mix here, and let me just go to this guy, and let's turn off these guys, and let's as well turn off the analog delay, and let's as well turn off all these guys, and let's turn off all these guys as well. If I don't want to turn off like that, I've just turned them off. All right, so let's get to listen to how this guy is sounding like.
Yesu wanga ambuye nakutukuza mfumu yanga.
So you can see how this vocal is sounding like, and this is a dry one. There isn't anything here. There is nothing. So after adding something, and let me just reopen them, or let me just bring them back, and let's see how it sounds after adding some effects. Then I'll show you step by step how you can do that. Okay.
Yesu wanga ambuye nakutukuza mfumu yanga Yesu nakuyamika mutamandidwe fumu mulemekezedwe mutamandidwe fumuye mulemekezedwe.
All right, so first thing first, this is the vocal, and this is a track. It's called track 1. Let me rename it to lead, for example, so that we are not, so this is the track, and for you to come here, there's the 3 buttons right in the bottom at the right. So you just go to the mix, and then here is your track. All right, but the first thing is I have created from this track, I have created a bass. So for example, I did this and go to add bass channel, and this is the bass channel that I've added right here. So these are the effects. So let me just show you one by one what I've done to this bass channel. All right, so this is the effects that I've added to my bass. Okay, so the first one is this guy. This is the EQ. Okay, so this is the EQ. So you know what the EQ is? It's just to cut off something that we don't need in the vocal and boost something that we need, something that we want to pop up, and this is exactly what I've done here. It's a beautiful EQ, and for example, let me just switch it off, and let's hear how it sounds.
Yesu wanga ambuye nakutukuza mfumu yanga.
So you can hear how it sounds terrible when I switch off this EQ. Okay, so you can see as I'm turning off, as I'm activating and deactivating the EQ.
Yesu nakuyamika mutamandidwe fumu mulemekezedwe.
All right, so this is the first thing that I've added to this bass. Then the second thing is the deesser. Okay, this is a guy. So here is a de-esser that I've added to this guy, and the de-esser is trying to remove some some S. We don't need too much of them, and this is the reason why we're adding a de-esser. And this one is permanent from Studio One. It comes, in the package. It comes with the software. It's not a third-party plugin. It's something that comes with Studio One.
Mfumu yanga Yesu nakuyamika mutamandidwe.
All right. Then the third one is compressor. This is a compressor, and what it is. A compressor, just to squash some vocals. In fact, let me just tell you this. A compressor, the work of the compressor is to bring all the levels in the vocal or in the recording together the same level. Okay, then you can choose to boost them. Then you can choose to to let them be at the same level. All right, so this is what we have done. No matter how some of the frequencies might be too high in volume, okay, and some of them might be too low. So what we do is to bring them together. So this is what the compressor does. Okay, so you can see my threshold here, negative 12.36, and you can see whatever that I've done.
Yesu wanga ambuye nakutokoza.
So you can hear when I'm switching it off.
Mfumu yanga Yesu.
Okay, so after compressor, I just added a dabra, not dabra. All right, just to to add some depth to the vocal. All right.
Mfumu yanga Yesu.
So we can also play around if we want, just to play around with it.
Nakuyamika mutamandidwe fumu mulemekeze.
All right, so the third one is this is a compressor as well. What it does, the same thing like I showed you. It's a compressor, and you know what a compressor does. This is Aravox Stereo 1 that I've used, and you know what it does.
Mfumu yanga Yesu nakuyamika mutamandidwe fumu mulemekezedwe.
You can hear after I activate it and deactivate. Okay, so I think this is the last one, the Aravox. No, it's the second last. The other one is let me just show you. This guy, I love this guy because it has got lows. I can control the lows, I can control the mids, the highs, and the compress. It has a compressor, then reduce the sensitivity after I done all this balancing, and I can do the sensitivity. So for example, let me just
Yesu wanga ambuye nakutokoza mfumu yanga.
It works like an EQ and compressor, both of them, because I can reduce the lows, I can boost the mids, I can boost the highs, and compress, and sensitivity, all these things. So this is how we add effects. So now this is the track, the vocal track. So what I've done is to the vocal track I have added autotune straight away.
Yesu nakuyamika.
So this is my autotune at key A, B, and scale major. This is where it is, and I've added some open air. This one, let me just open it for you. This is the open air that I've added. It adds some air.
Suwanga ambuye nakutokoza. mfumu yanga Yesu.
All right, so let's get to the interesting part, how I add reverb and delay. Now, at my, on my vocal channel right here, let's get here. Okay. Let's talk about Saints a little bit because this is all about it. So what I've done is here, this section Saints. What you can do is you go plus and you add a FX channel. When you add the FX channel, it will bring you to this guy. Okay, so this is the reverb. I've renamed it reverb, and then I have added a room reverb. Okay, I've added a room reverb. So this is a reverb. Okay, this is the FX channel, and what I've done is I am feeding this track, the original, the vocal track. I'm feeding reverb to this track, and what I've done is I've put it on pre-fader. What I mean is that it's like a copy of the vocal, the other one with the reverb, and the original one remains dry. Okay, so these let me just make you listen to this as I play with these levels.
Yesu wanga ambuye nakutokoza mfumu yanga Yesu.
So I can blend the reverb, the one with the reverb, the vocal with the reverb, because pre-fader, it means I'm just copying. It's like copying the vocal and the other one putting reverb, the other one remains dry. Okay, that's why we put it on pre-fader. When we put it on post-fader, it means that we cannot play, we cannot be able to control our reverb quite on its own, but it will depend on these levels. For example, let me show you what I mean. When it is on pre-fader, what it does is even if I reduce the the volume of the original track, hear this.
Yesu wanga ambuye nakutokoza.
So you can see there's a reverb that has remained. For example, if we we increase the reverb, you can still hear the vocal. Why? Because it's like I've done a duplicate of the vocal, and this one is dry. The one I've added the reverb, still have the reverb. So you can see. But look at this now. Let me remove it on pre-fader. Let's put it on post-fader. You hear that nothing is going to play. Why? Because this volume of the track, the vocal track, is also controlling the reverb. Okay, so when we raise the amount, we increase the amount of the volume, it also come along with the reverb, which we do not want. In fact, that depends on your preferences. Let's put it on 0. Okay.
Yesu wanga ambuye nakutokoza.
So the same is true to delay. I've added the delay effect here. This is the delay. And remember, before I get to the delay, this channel, this track for the reverb, I've also added the EQ. That means I have EQ'd the reverb. If I want, I can just put reverb to the the low ends
Yeah.
or the lows.
Yesu wanga ambuye na kutukuza, mfumu yanga Yesu na kuyamika, mutamandidwe mfumu mulemegezedwe, mutamandidwe fumuye mulemegezedwe.
So you can play around with the EQ to your reverb, okay? And you see that this EQ is not affecting our vocal at all. Our vocal remains intact and remains, dry. Okay, so we are getting to the delay. The same thing. I put it on prefader. I love just putting it on prefader. And the analog, this is what we have done. So let's play it.
Yesu wanga ambuye na kutukuza, mfumu.
So we can control our reverb. Same is true to what we've said from reverb. Our delay, we are just blending it. We've just, like duplicating the other one, remaining dry, the other one with the delay.
Umuyanga Yesu na kuyamika, mutamandidwe mfumu mulemegezedwe.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what exactly you do when you do that. A lot of things that you can learn from Studio One. It's a great DAW. So what you can do, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to edit something to your vocal, you go to edit and just try to remove something. Anything that you want to remove, you can remove. Okay, mix. This is where you can mix your vocal and anything that you want. And these are the things that if you want to let them be like this one, you want it to be like this, that's up to you. If you want this, you are putting the levels. You can see that my vocal is too much. You can see it. And if you want this, you can see here, right here, you can add this guy, the show outputs and don't show the output. That's it. And then there is this, you can like put this if you want. So anything that you want it to be like, anything like, okay, like this, that's up to you. That's totally up to you. Okay, so thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is Studio One. If you want any other tutorial or you have a question, just comment down below. A lot of things are happening. We haven't talked about the what we call side chain. Side chaining is one of the greatest things that you can do in music production, but I can promise if you want it, then we're gonna do a tutorial and more things. Thank you so much for watching the video.